Hari Om friends, welcome once again to Sanatan Dunya, your spiritual home. In this video, I shall be giving my commentary on the ninth sloka of Dakshinamurti Stotram. Dakshinamurti Stotram is a composition and spiritual work of wisdom by Adi Shankaracharya, who is one of the greatest masters of Sanatan Dharma and mainly as far as Advaita Vedanta is concerned. For those of you who have not yet listened to my commentaries on the 5 introductory prayers of this Dakshinamurti Stotram and the previous slokas of this work, I suggest you listen to them before continuing with this video. These videos are available in the video section of my channel and also in the playlist section of this channel in the playlist titled Adi Shankaracharya's Works of Vedantic Wisdom and Dakshinamurti Stotram with commentary in English, 11 parts. Before I go ahead and give my commentary on the 9th sloka of Dakshinamurti Stotram, I have a small request to make. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, then I suggest you do so that you may be updated about forthcoming videos uploaded to this channel. So let's move on. The 9th sloka of the Dakshinamurti Stotram is as follows. He whose eightfold forms are the earth, water, fire, air, ether, sun, moon and jiva, and who manifests himself as this universe of the movable and the immovable objects, and besides which the supreme all-pervading Lord there exists nothing, to those who reflect well, to him, the divine teacher Sri Dakshinamurti is this prostration. The commentary of this sloka is as follows. As most of us must be knowing, there are 5 elements in the material nature. They are earth, water, fire, air and ether or space. These are the 5 elements which constitute all that is in material in the creation. However, when studying the creation in Vedanta philosophy, we consider the subtle factors and constituents of creation also, in addition to the gross 5 elements of creation which have been enumerated above. Here in this sloka, in addition to the 5 elements of material nature, Adi Shankara is also enumerating the moon and the sun. Here in this context, he is not referring to the moon and the sun as such. They are being used here symbolically. Sun symbolizes the Purusha or the Supreme Self, which is the ultimate tattva of the whole creation and of all the jivas. Further, moon symbolizes Prakriti or nature or even mind. All that we see in creation is a combination of Prakriti or nature and Purusha or spirit. The combination of Prakriti and Purusha gives rise to the Jiva or the deluded living entity who is immersed in the trivial joys and sorrows of the world and considers itself to be a finite creature and not the infinite spirit which it actually is. After enumerating these eightfold forms of the creation, Adi Shankara is saying that these eightfold elements or forms constitute everything that we see in creation, both the moving and the non-moving. The human beings, animals, birds, fish, etc. are considered to be moving among the creatures on earth. And plants, trees, mountains, etc. are considered to be immovable. But having said that, what needs to be noted is that everything is pervaded by the self or consciousness. Nothing in creation exists devoid of life or consciousness or the self. Since the self pervades everything in creation is sentient and has life to a lesser or greater degree. Nothing is totally inert. Even rocks and stones have got life in them, as the self pervades them too and is all pervading. After having enumerated the elements or constituents of the creation, Adi Shankara negates all that is manifest in the creation as unreal and affirms in this sloka that besides Brahman or the self or consciousness, there is nothing. The whole creation, right from the subtle body to Brahmaloka, is unreal and a projection of the cosmic mind. The self, which is the substratum of this illusory creation, alone is real. In fact, Brahman or the self alone exists. There is no creation at all. The creation seen in the waking and the dream states are both the projection of the mind and hence illusory. As I had explained in the earlier sutras, that the creation is as unreal as a snake in a rope. It is an illusion as it exists only in the waking state, not in the deep sleep state. If the creation were to be real, then it should appear in front of us all the time, all 24 hours of the day, all 7 days of the week, and throughout the years and decades without a break. But that is not so. Each time my mind is awake and active, there is a creation in front of me. And when I go to sleep and enjoy dreamless deep sleep, the vast creation vanishes and we experience only a darkness with no creation at all. In other words, since the creation is not available throughout the duration of the three states, and since each time my mind is active there is a creation, and while it is inactive there is no creation, for these reasons one can very safely affirm the Mahavakya, Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. That is, Brahman or the self alone is real, the world is unreal or illusory. Hence, Adi Shankara says here in this sloka that besides the self there is nothing, that the creation is unreal and the supreme self or Brahman alone exists, one without a second. Adi Shankara says that to those who reflect well on the truths and statements of the Upanishads and the Mahavakyas, this knowledge of Advaita Vedanta shall become firmly rooted in them and they shall gradually transcend the illusory creation. Finally, Adi Shankara says, to him the divine teacher Sri Dakshinamurti is this prostration. I have already commented in the previous videos about prostration and its importance. The more we prostrate with devotional bhava or feeling to our Satgurus and Ishtadevtas, the more we shall get the fuel of inspiration and strength to pursue the spiritual path until the very end of our lives. Prostrations to Sri Krishna, to Sri Shankaracharya, to Sri Dakshinamurti, and to all the masters of Sanatan Dharma and other religions of the world. So friends, here ends my commentary on the 9th sloka of the Dakshinamurti Stotram. I shall be coming up with commentaries on the last sloka of this work in the days to come. So stay tuned to this channel, and if you like this commentary then hit the like button. Also, kindly subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so that you may be updated about forthcoming videos uploaded to this channel. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day ahead. Hari Om.